This is a long-distance dedication to P. Bacchus. Hey, so this is moving with vehicles. It's a little bit more convoluted than with people, as you can imagine, but it's not too bad, actually. I shouldn't say it's convoluted. There's just a little bit more involved, but not really. I'm going to go back and forth with that debate. All right, so you need to understand leaders a little bit. Typically, a tank is led by a junior leader. Typically, a junior leader has 2 initiative in which to activate and do 2 different things. That's kind of making it a summary. So basically, a junior leader in a tank can command his team on his tank to do 2 things. Unfortunately, there are 3 positions on a tank. There is the driver, there's the main gunner, and then there's the whole machine gunner. So that junior leader can activate his driver to drive and one of his other 2 gunners to do something, or he can activate both gunners to fire, or some other combination. Probably not. I guess that's about the only combination. So you are limited in what you can do. So now let's look at what they can do. There's really 4 things that the tank commander can decide they want to do. 1, you can sit still and fire the main gun and, say, the whole machine gun if he has it. The main gunner can only fire the main gun or the coaxial machine gun, not both. Okay? So, and then the whole machine gunner can fire that. So, the tanks they can do that. They cannot move at all. They can move slowly with 1d6, so you roll it, and you move that in inches. And you can fire any one activated weapon, one activated weapon at full strength. So your main gun, your coaxial machine gun, or your whole machine gun. Okay. Second, you could move fast, which is 2d6. In this case, 7. There's your average. You can move fast and not fire the main gun, but you could activate the coaxial machine gun or the whole machine gun, and they would fire at half effect, or half dice. So, for example, the machine gun could be 6, you'd fire it at 3. Or you can move flat out, which is 3 dice. Roll those. In this case, it would be 11. And obviously no firing is possible. Okay, let's look at how terrain affects moving. A little bit of an involved chart that looks at wheeled vehicles, slow vehicles, medium, which I don't have one here, and fast. So wheeled has some restrictions on the road, and solid it can go double the movement that you roll. On broken, which remember I said like that field, is 0, so it doesn't get any modifiers when you roll. If it's heavy going, let's say this was heavy going, like heavy wheat, it can't even go through it. Let's say it was super heavy, or maybe through trees or something. It couldn't go through that. And if it's soft, so let's say this is muddy, it can go any speed, so it can roll 1, 2, or 3 dice. However, it can bog on doubles. It bogs down. I'm sure you can get out of that. I did not look that rules up. I figured that's something you can look at the book. Now, if you're slow, basically there's no modifiers at all for road, broken, or heavy going. Again, it can go 80 speed on a soft ground, but could bog on a double. Medium, which I don't have, basically they get 1 pip per die on how many you roll. So this would get 3 added if I rolled 3 dice. This would get 2 added if I rolled 2, and 1 if I rolled that. On heavy going, it would get no benefit. On soft, again, any speed, but you risk bogging down. And then fast, my small t, what I was calling a T40 in my game, gets 2 pips per die. So in his case, he would get 6 already added to this 11, so he can move 17 inches, which is pretty cool. Again, broken, so across that field, still 2 pips per die. And heavy going, he would add 0. And again, bogging on soft. Now there are a few restrictions. Let's take a look at those. Let's say this is a wall. A wheeled could not move across that. A track could not cross any linear obstacles of any kind, high, big, whatever. It can go through gates. A tracked vehicle can go cross the low obstacle, so if this was a low one with no penalty, a taller one I mean, it wouldn't be that tall, obviously, but it can crawl. But a double would immobilize it on a double. Also, on a tall, you would discard your lower die. So you'd roll these, and well, you'd get to go 2. If it was that, you'd get to go 2. So you would discard your roll to die. If it was a double, you'd card. Well, actually, yeah, he rolled 2 2s, so he'd go 2 inches and bog or immobilize. So you can turn your tank 0. Well, you can turn 90 degrees, so 90 degrees, if you're going slow or fast, not flat out. You can reverse just with a maximum of 2d6, so basically you can go fast, reverse. And you don't add any pips when you do that, so 0 for all kinds of equipment. So like that would be a 3 backwards. And then fully tracked can turn 0 to 45 degrees and count as moving slowly, which, if you remember, means you can fire any activated weapon at full effect. I wish I would have known and remembered that during my first game. And between 45 and 90 is fast moving, which means you fire at half effect and only the machine guns. And if you go completely 180, it's moving flat out, and you can't do anything. It's firing. So that's moving in vehicles. There you go.